Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the 105 leFH18B2, the French Tier 5 Premium SPG that you might know as a leFhy or a leaf blower, but we know as VP La Pew Pew. This one is located on the south spawn of Overlord, and it's under the command of Wolfkiller63. I'm not identifying who the commander is, but game's underway. It's a 105mm light field howitzer mounted on top of a Char B1 that's been converted by the Germans. It's in the game as a French SPG, but in actual fact it was a German SPG. They only made 16 of them. Now this replay took place in November of last year. Yes, it's been waiting some time to be shown. And it's actually a 2 replay video. So let's see how Wolfkiller63 gets on. Looks to me like he's going all the way down to the chine. Okay, he's going to take up position here. Okay, let's see how he does. Now, 410 alpha, 53mm of pen. Standard reload is 8.92 seconds. And we can see Wolfkiller's got it down to, I think it was 7.51. There we go. You can actually see it on the mods there. We've got different mods now for our games. Rounds out the B1. Very close. Landed right next door to the B1, but wasn't close enough to actually do damage. Round out. That did 124 hit points that time. He's going for another shot. Rounds out. Oh, he hits something, but it might not be the B1. I think he hit somebody else. Oh no, the B1 did change direction when he was unspotted, so it was the B1. Now it's funny because he's actually firing Arty shells at a tank, which is basically half of what his tank is made from. Or rather, it's the vehicle, the hull. The T6 medium takes a hit. Oh, and that's a kill. That's his first kill of the game. Fires one at the M5. Unfortunately, overshoots, goes into the bowl. The Panzer III comes down to take on the M5, and the shell runs short. That M5 always blasting into the side of the Panzer III. But he is killed, and he's taken out by the M10 RBFM in the end. Okay, Wolfkiller can't shoot down to the beach because the angle's too acute. But he can go off to this B1 again. Just misses him. The shell zips over the top of him. Lands a little further on. Okay, he's lined up the shot, but he's got an obstruction there. He's actually blocking his shot. I think it was the windmill, actually. Pretty sure it was the windmill. Okay, the B1 stopped and he fired at where he was anticipating he'd go, but unfortunately wasn't there. Now we've got a Marder 38T. Wait until he's stationary. Now rounds out. Unfortunately missed him on that occasion. He's going to have another go though. Rounds out. And this time round he does get a hit for 111. Oh, now the aim adjusted there. And he's landing short. Whenever something goes unspotted like that, sometimes it will adjust and you see the range either shorten or lengthen. So you have to get a good memory of exactly where the enemy tank is located. Now he can't hit that Su-85 because he's way down on the beach. He's trying to dial in on this Panzer III. Rounds out. Oh, into the engine deck. Good one, 122. And fires another one in. Lands short this time. And we can see the tracer coming from the enemy Arty. It looks like they're down by the chines as well. Rounds out. No. They're 2 down on the enemy at the moment. This is not going well. Change the aim to have a look at that Su-85. But there's no way he can get a shot down there. But he can hit the Cavalier who went down onto the beach to help out. He fires ahead of his pop and lands the shell near him. He was actually headed for that wreck. Okay, so aim for the wreck. Okay, he's not there. sometimes tanks will take up a position behind a wreck, and it actually just makes it more obvious as to where they are. Fire's a bit short on this Panzer IV. Can give it another go though. And that's better. Direct hit for 87. The Cavalier is still down there. He fires almost snapshot, so yes, the rescue was just too big, and that's why it was inaccurate. Gonna give it another go though. Ow! Kill shot! That was a penetrating round. At least I think it was. We'll find out the results. He fires one at the Panzer III, doesn't get it, but he's tracking him to try and lead the shot into him. And yes, he got a kill shot. So that's 3 kills now. Going for a T-28, lightly armored Soviet medium. And he gets him as well. 4 kills now. Unfortunately, there's still 2 down on the enemy, and there's a number of enemy tanks down on the beach. The reason he's gone down into the chine like this is because there's a dip, and that will protect the M10, who's just killed our T-28. So can we get another shot into this guy? He's still tracked. Starts moving, the shell zips over the top of him. Now he does have these bushes and trees to work with here. But we are still 2 down on the enemy, and there's still 6 enemies out there. Well, correction, now there's only 5 because they just lost their Su-85B. But he was down the beach, and our M10 is on the beach as well. And now we've got a Panzer IV coming in on this. It's the Panzer IV H, probably with a 105mm. And oh, we blocked that shot. It is the 105mm. The shell went into the tracks. He's got a long reload, but he misses with his second shot. But if he hits us with that... Oh, and now we're getting hit by the Panzer leFH18B2. We do get 1 round into the guy. Can we kill him? No.
I just heard they needed my help in another battle. Let's head out.
Sadly, our teammates who are down on the beach ignored the fact that the enemy had won the field, and that meant that they were going to be headed for our cap. And as much as Wolfkiller63 did the best he could, you can't defeat that many enemy tanks all coming at you at the same time. It's just impossible. You can only focus on 1 tank at a time, and that's the end of, well, I think this game is going to be a win by our cap being captured. The M10 is guarding against the enemy tanks coming back, or rather our tanks coming back, and they're already halfway through the cap already. Oh dear. I think that's about all Wolfkiller could do. Defend himself. If he'd gone down onto the beach himself, I don't think it really would have made a difference. They still would have found him and killed him, with his teammates up the other end of the map. I'm afraid this is the blinders that people put on themselves when they play the game. They think, oh, I must get to the enemy cap, rather than actually defending their own cap. And then this happens, and the enemy caps out and wins. The Leopard thinks he's clever because he's sitting in the cap saying, oh, I can't do anything now. And they capped out. Here's the end of battle stats, and Wolfkiller63 managed to get a fighter badge for taking out at least 4 kills. And yes, he did get 4 enemy vehicles. He also got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 15 in that one. And his win rate from the battle was 4,039, Super Unicum standard. But sadly, even a Superman can't take down that many tanks when they're all attacking at the same time. It's just impossible. So sadly, it was a defeat. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, we can see that he did get the highest damage on his team, but not the highest damage overall. The M10 RBFM on the enemy team got 1,448 hit points, and we can see the Wolfkiller got 1,335, and the third highest damage went to the Leopard on his own team, who got a Confederate and was still alive at the end of the game, sitting in the cap and looking pretty stupid because, after all, he lost the game. and that really was unforgivable. He could have returned, he could have stopped the cap, he could have interrupted and done a reset, but it just didn't work out. So second place on damage. When it came to kills, he actually shared the top spot. Wolfkiller got 4 kills. 4 kills went to the M10 RBFM on the enemy team, who also got the invader, so he must have been the one that was capping all alone in the cap. We can check that just to see. Was he all alone? Yes, he was, because he got 100 capture points on that one. And 3 kills went to the M10 RBFM on Wolfkiller's team. And when it came to base XP, it's the enemy team that did the best. Yes, the M10 managed to get 675. The other M10 got 613. And in third place was the Panzer Selbstfahrerfährte who got 470. But we can see Wolfkiller was just behind him on that game. He got 445. He was the best of Wolfkiller's team. Let's have a look at the details. 31 shots fired out of 50. 10 direct hits on the enemy. 3 penetrating shots. And I suspect the Cavalier was a penetrating shot. Yes, because he got a large amount of hit points off that guy very, very immediately. He also got a penetrating shot on the Panzer III Ausführung J. And I suspect he got a penetrating shot on... Oh, and he did get one on the T6 medium, funnily enough, as well. Only 41 hit points, but it was a penetrator. He didn't get a penetrating shot on the Marder 38T, and that's unusual, because that's an open vehicle. And you'd think that he would actually get a shot right through the guy, and he didn't penetrate the M10, and that thing has got very thin armor indeed. So again, it's very unusual that you get those shots. He also got 13 splashes on the enemy, 1,335 hit points, of which 975 were at more than 300 meters. So you can see a fair amount of damage was done at close range. He received 6 hits from the enemy during that game, 4 penetrations, 2 non-penetrations. One of those was the shot, in fact, 2 shots from the Panzer IV Ausführung H with the 105mm gun, because he's got 700 blocked by armor, and that's 2 rounds of the 105mm that went into the tracks. He spotted 1 enemy vehicle, damaged 8 of the enemy, killed 4 of them, and did 7 hit points of damage assistance. And he earned 29,465 credits on a premium count for the battle, and after repair and ammunition resupply took away 24,456 credits profit. He got 25 bonds for a mission achievement, 667 XP for the battle, 267 for this being a premium vehicle, 934 altogether. So yes, a fairly brief battle, but it was made the worse by the fact that some of his teammates were still alive at the end of the game, up the other end of the map, and not doing anything about it, which is rather silly. But there again, that's because some players, they lose sight of what they're supposed to be doing in the game, and they just ruin it for everyone else. If somebody had come back to help Wolfkiller, I'm sure he would have been able to take on most of those enemy tanks and do some severe damage to them. But as it was, he was just attacked by too many all at once. So I did say it was a 2 replay video, and yes, I have got another replay featuring Wolfkiller. So let's have a look at that one. The second replay is on the airfield map, and we're on the east spawn. Now this replay took place 2 days after the one you just watched. Let's see if Wolfkiller can actually get a nice result out of this one. He's going to take the high position in the bushes. Now it's fairly dangerous actually going up here, because if people see the tracer coming out of the bushes, they'll just aim a shell into the bushes in the hope that they hit something. In fact, they can do that from Temple Mount because it's far enough away that they can see the shells coming out of here, but they can't exactly see you, but they can fire at you. Okay, he's aiming down range, and he's got a Type T-34 spotting for us. No enemy in sight yet. There is bound to be somebody. I pre-aimed to the Temple Mount itself, right in the center of the map. More than likely, one enemy tank is going to pop up on that center area, and it's actually down by the side of Temple Mount. The Churchill 3 stand up, rounds out. Direct hit, 174, good start to the game. Lining up the next shots. He's being very accurate with these shots. 196 from that one. The enemy Arty's trying to get the type. A third hit. He's really laying into that Churchill 3, and the type is hurting. Rounds out. Oh, now that one didn't go through. Give it another go. And another hit, 148. Looks like he's going to collect most of the hit points from that Churchill 3. And he collects his soul as well, because he's out of the game. And now we've got a SU-85 who thinks it's clever to shoot down from on top of the temple mount. Oh, and that one went into the engine bay. Now remember, the SU-85 is basically a T-34-85 without a turret and with a huge gun at the front. Laying these shells in. And he gets the kill shot as well. In fact, I think the SU-85 is the hull of a T-34 rather than a T-34-85 as such, but basically it's the same hull for both tanks. BDR-G1B manages to dodge that shell by pulling back in time, but he's firing into the corner. I would have been a little further over, but he actually get a direct hit there, so he was right on target, and the BDR is hurt. Unfortunately, that shell missed, but there's a KV-1 over here. He's letting it settle before he shoots. Rounds out. That's why he's getting so accurate. Good shots. Go for it again. That's it. Oh, the shell went to the right there. I think RNG was just being a little unkind. And a Valiant's turned up this time. Now he's getting too close to the rock face, unfortunately. But he is taking damage from our teammates, so if we can get a hit, we might be able to disable him. Oh! Well, the SU-85I, or, sorry, yes, it is an SU-85I, which is a Stug conversion. Managed to get the kill shot on the Valiant. Panzer III Ausfüllung K. Now that's one that was sold in the Christmas boxes. Fires a little ahead of his path, but he can get the kill shot, but he doesn't. The enemy Arty's been spotted, or at least one of them has. That's the gorilla. Oh, there is only one enemy Arty. Rounds out. Oh, it didn't go in. Try again. Oh, no, he's lost interest in the gorilla. Going after the T-34 shielded. I think that was a bit snap. Okay, Sherman sitting here, side on to us. Let it settle. No, he didn't let that one settle. You've got to let it settle before you fire. That's better. Yes, direct hit this time. 135. The Sherman's trying to seek cover, but of course that's not going to help him with an Arty. And he gets the kill shot. That's his third kill of the game so far. Oh, now the gorilla works out where he is, and the gorilla just fired at him and got 50 hit points from a near miss. He's going after the T-34 shielded, but he needs to move from this position. The gorilla will fire at this spot again. Okay, he's going after the T-34 shielded. Let it settle in. Fires one in. Oh! And there's the gorilla firing back, and of course he's already left. Wolfkiller's too smart to stay around. Okay, so there are only 3 enemy tanks left. There are 7 on our team, including Wolfkiller. He's looking to try and get a shot on the gorilla, but he finds the T-67. And of course, these things are very thinly armored, so any shot that hits this is going to make a lot of damage. He fires the round down range. Yes, 61 hit points from a near miss. T-67 taken out by our Wolverine. We're now going for that gorilla again. He's gone straight back to the bushes where he fired at him before, but he's looking for the tracer. The gorilla is moving. The wall just got knocked down just ahead of him. I don't think he saw that. Yeah, look for the wall. You can see the wall's going down. That indicates that the vehicle is going through the wall. He's not there. He's actually in the bush, a little closer. There's the T-34 shielded. Only 2 vehicles left in the game for the enemy, the gorilla and this T-34 shielded. who's about to die, rounds out. Well, he didn't get anything off that one. He came out of the aim, and you can see the gorilla is now spotted by our AT2. That was a snapshot. Didn't work, but he's reloading. This time round, he will probably get an accurate one, but it might be too late. Rounds out. Oh, he did get him. 135 from that shot, and the kill shot comes in from the AT2, and that is the end of the game. Well, that was a much better game for Wolfkiller63. His team were attacking in force, and they weren't making the same mistakes that the guys in the Overlord map did. Yes, he got a second-class tanker out of that game, a sharpshooter for getting 10 or more consecutive shots on the enemy, a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 12 in that one, and his win rate was even higher, 5,398. At least I think that was higher. Yes, it is higher, definitely, because he only got 4,000 the last time. This time he's got 5,398. Much better game altogether. It was much more fun. Let's have a look at team score. Well, in this game, he missed out on getting the high caliber. That went to a T67 on the enemy team, the one he fired at. 2,048 hit points of damage went to him. Second highest damage went to Wolfkiller with 2,016 hit points, the highest damage on his team. And the third highest damage went to the Wolverine, who actually killed that T67 in the end. He got 1,943 hit points. When it came to kills, yep, he shared the top spot with the Wolverine. They both managed to get 3 kills apiece. 2 kills went to the T1 Heavy on his own team, and the T34, the T1 Heavy, got a steel wall and a Confederate. And also to the KV1 and the Gorilla on the enemy team. They both got 2 kills as well. And a good job that Wolfkiller moved away from that spot, because that Gorilla was intent on taking him out. And he just adjusted the aim. You saw that shell zip through the air and it hit the area where he was. But he wasn't there anymore. He was too smart to get hit twice. When it came to base XP, Wolfkiller got that one with 898. 890 went to the Wolverine and 841 went to the T1 Heavy. He fired 30 rounds, so he had 20 rounds spare at the end of the game. 15 direct hits on the enemy, 2 penetrations. Can we guess which ones he penetrated in that one? Well, I suspect that he may have penetrated the Gorilla, but he didn't actually. How about the Churchill? No. T-34 shielded? No. He actually managed to penetrate the Sherman for 360 in that game. And it looks like, yes, the Su-85, the one he hits in the engine bay, he managed to get 344 hit points out of that guy. He got 18 splashes as well, 2,016 hit points of damage, all of it at more than 300 meters. Damaged 7 of the enemy, killed 3, did 296 hit points of damage assistance. He earned 46,785 credits to the battle, 50,000 for completing a mission, 96,785 credits altogether. And after ammunition repair and ammunition resupply, yes, because he did get damaged by that Gorilla, only a tiny bit, but it was enough to warn him to move. As I did say at the start of the game, it's a fairly dangerous position to go to fire from an Arty, because you are fairly obvious. They can see where the tracer's coming from, so they will fire around in there. 92,732 credits profit. He got 25 bonds for a mission achievement, and 1,347 XP for the battle, times 2 for the first victory, 539 for this being a premium vehicle, and 673 from personal reserve bonus. Took away 3,906 experience points altogether, so much better game at this time round by Wolfkiller. And of course he's getting super unicum scores when he does play it, so he must be having a lot of fun and enjoying himself, and he's coming out as one of the leading players in the team, when you can see with that sort of damage, with the high scores, getting the top of the column there, just missing out on this occasion to getting the top of the damage column to that T-67. But then the T-67 is a very OP tank destroyer with a fast-firing 76mm gun. And yes, it's fairly easy for him to rack up the damage, and it takes a little while for a Fifi to do the same, because after all, you've got that long wait in between shells. He's only got a short reload time of a couple of seconds. The Fifi's got a reload time of at least 7 seconds or thereabouts, but does more damage when he gets a shot on target. So I hope you enjoyed both of those replays. 2 different interesting games, and of course it does point out that one vital factor: never leave your teammate alone when he's at the other end of the battle trying to defend the cap. Always send somebody back to try and protect him. But otherwise, you know, Afifi's not going to be able to defend the cap all on his own against multiple enemies. And surely his teammates should have seen that. But in this game, well, I suppose the lesson to be learned was don't pick an obvious firing position, because after all, the enemy does have eyes. They probably will see where you are. But if you do get hit, move and change position and you should be okay. And Wolfkiller came off very nicely after doing that. If you enjoyed those replays, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.